This wilted spinach salad with candy pepper bacon. It's something that tastes like it came from a nice restaurant, but you can make it at home. It's impressive and everyone in your family will love it. I like to cook my eggs in the deluxe air fryer and oven. I have it set at 270 degrees for about 18 minutes. The eggs are done. Just going to reach in and add them to a bowl of ice water to cool completely. It helps them stop cooking any further, and then they'll be ready to peel. For the candied pepper bacon, I've got the stone bar pan with a sheet of parchment paper. Now when I bake bacon, I don't usually use parchment, but because I am adding brown sugar to it, I'm gonna do that because it's gonna get really sticky. I'm using about, let's see here, I've got 6 slices of bacon. For a full batch, you're gonna use 8 slices, but we don't need that much for ourselves. We won't even need all of this, but we'll have a little bit of extra bacon for another time. So go ahead and sprinkle some brown sugar on top. It's gonna melt and get kind of sticky and delicious. I like to use a little bit less pepper than is suggested in the recipe. There's something about, if I use the full amount of pepper, it kind of just catches you in the throat. It's too much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grind some on top. Coarsely ground pepper is perfect for this. It really elevates the flavor. And thick bacon is a must. I'm gonna bake it at 400 degrees for 22 to 24 minutes. I want it to be done, but not crispy because it will probably burn with the sugar. So I want it to still have a little bit of chewy texture. The bacon is done, and so I am going to put it on a piece of parchment paper. The original recipe says to put it on a paper towel lined plate like you normally would with bacon. I can tell you, because of the sugar that's in here, that is not a good idea. It sticks and it brings your paper towel up with the bacon, which you don't want to do. So I like to just take a piece of parchment paper, and I've got it here on my cooling rack to just let my bacon cool off, and it will peel up very easily from here. Okay, so we're also going to take the bacon fat drippings from this pan, and we're going to use some of that in our dressing. So let's just put this all. You want to make sure your bacon is kind of spread out, because as it cools, it will stick on to the piece next to it. So there we go. I'm going to use this little stainless steel scoop to get the bacon fat that I want. So as long as you hold on to the edges, you should find that it's not hot. You definitely don't want to touch the fat, right? So let's go ahead and just put that right on the stone. Grab the edge, and as best I can, I'm gonna pour some of that fat right into my pan, my little cup. Be careful doing that. This is hot stuff. Our homemade dressing is ready to go. I've got brown sugar, apple cider vinegar, and Dijon mustard in here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add the bacon fat that I want. If you don't want to use bacon fat, you can use olive oil, but this kind of recipe, the bacon fat makes it. Go ahead and microwave your dressing until it's nice and bubbly. That could take anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes. We're gonna wedge and chunk up an apple. This is the apple wedger. I'm using a Granny Smith today, but if you have a preference and want a different type of apple, use whatever you have on hand or whatever you really like. I like to put my hand flat over the top of the apple and just lean into it. This is a really crunchy one. It's a Granny. Okay, now if you're packing this for lunch, you can lift it up right over the top, close your wedges back together, and then you can put it into a sandwich Ziploc bag, and it should stay pretty fresh until lunchtime without browning too much. Okay. The important thing is that you never ever push from the bottom to release your apple, because it is a knife. Now these apples we need to put into chunks, and so I'm going to reach for a chef's knife. What's your favorite type of knife? Do you like the utility knife size that's about a 5-inch blade? I tend to go for the big ones. Love them. Okay, cut your apple into bite-sized chunks, and that will be perfect for our salad. I really do love this salad even with a red apple, like a cosmic. What's your favorite apple? Do you have one that you reach for the most? I probably use Granny's the least because they're tart, but for recipes like this, it works well. Here's my bowl of spinach. Now, this makes a decent amount, but once you pour that hot dressing over the top, it wilts it, so it really shrinks down quite a bit. If you like more fruit, you can add an extra apple if you like. And then we'll add some red onion. I don't need very much, so I'm just gonna cut off a little bit of the side, and then I'll put this in the fridge. I'll use the rest of that red onion for roasted vegetables. I love it that way. I'll put it on the grill. Just gonna go ahead and cut some wedges. You can use your Rapid Prep mandolin if you prefer. This knife that I'm using is part of our foundations collection. I'm going to show you the block that it stores on because it's really genius in that you can use it either in your drawer or on your countertop. So this is what it looks like. It's got a little stand so you can put it on your counter if you want. But if you like everything being in a drawer, just flip that plate around and it will go right in your drawer. So it comes with a little paring knife, a utility knife, the bread knife, and the chef's knife that I'm using. So all of the basic knives that you need on an everyday basis are right here. Now, a tip for you with your red onion, if they're too spicy for you, rinse them off in a colander before you add them in your salad. Okay, give them a quick rinse, dump those in there, and we have our dressing. It's hot, so it's gonna help wilt the greens. Have you ever had this salad before? It is really, really good. It's perfect, especially for cooler months, but really, there's no bad time of year to have this. Go ahead and give everything a toss so that your greens can start to wilt. It softens them, and that brown sugar offsets the sometimes the bitter bite that you notice with spinach and red onion. You see how it's already starting to shrink down? Now, if I were making this for a party, I would stop the process right here and add the other ingredients over the top when ready to serve. I'm serving it in this anniversary collection. Check these out. They are all handmade from the same company that has made our stoneware since 1995. All of them are unique and they're just gorgeous. I especially love this size here. So I've portioned out a generous amount of the spinach salad in here, and we'll go ahead and chop up the bacon, which is kind of the star of the show. So this is sticky. I'll go ahead and give it a chop. I like to make sure that these are kind of bite size, not bacon bits, but you know, something that's sort of substantial. And you can go heavy or you can go light. It's all a matter of preference. I know what my husband would pick. He'd go heavy on the bacon. He loves this stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and just add some right over the top. Doesn't this look like something you'd get at a nice restaurant? So yummy. We'll go a little more. Final step is to add hard-boiled egg on there. These were already cooled, and so here's how I peel eggs very easily. Give it a little smack on your cutting board. This will help loosen your peel. And then my trick, a spoon. Slip the spoon between your shell and the egg. I grew up doing this, and I thought everybody knew this trick, but as I've shown others how to do this, people are like, oh my gosh, I never knew that. So it helps really get that peel off very easily. Oftentimes in one piece, just like this. Okay, for this recipe, you want to cut it into wedges. So I'm just going to slice down this way and slice this way. And then you'll just garnish your plate all the way around. Would you want to eat this salad? I think it's just so beautiful and so delicious. I hope you'll give it a try.